work through communication number 2025-239. Chairman Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair, Commissioner Shea. I really just want to make sure that we're all kind of on the same process here. And so just to back up a little bit. So when this was brought to me, it was how to get it back on tonight's agenda or get it onto an agenda. And so the challenge is where would we put it if we just had a resolution to be drafted? And so that's when I said, let's get the letter back onto the council, introduced through Barb to be placed on the agenda, which has been done. It was referred to Judiciary for discussion. And so my thought on that process would be for the Judiciary to just simply ask the county attorney's office to draft the resolution to get the process rolling. So when we say we're starting the process over, I guess it depends on how you look at that. I was thinking it was just creating the resolution with you, the governing body for the Judiciary, tonight, if that was something you wanted to proceed with, as there was other actions done on that communication, but the resolution has not been drafted because it could not be completed because of the parties. And so that was my intent, is to get you to look at that and then make that motion to refer it to the county attorney's office to draft the resolution. So is that I guess I would state that.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the recommendation from this committee to approve the sale and direct the county attorney's office to draft a resolution to introduce would be probably the appropriate mechanism. Is that correct?
That's what I envisioned originally.
Yeah.
Just to get, I had to get this on the, sorry, Madam Chair.
Yeah, go ahead.
I had to get it back on the agenda to be officially communicated on, and that was the avenue to do it, was to have a new communication brought forward to be placed on the agenda. So yes.
Yes, and thank you, Mr. Chairman, because the last resolution failed, the only way to bring it back would have been within the timeline of a motion to reconsider, and that ship sailed a long time ago. Right. So, Commissioner Thatcher would like to say something.
Thank you for that clarification. Like I said, this was a misunderstanding, I'm guessing. But then I just have a quick question. I'm all for this, and I hope that everybody else is. This is very important. But then just explain to me really quick. So if we're not, that's not what the communication's asking. That isn't. And I know that we catch each other on this sometimes, so if the communication isn't asking us to direct him, the county attorney, to do the resolution, that's why I'm just so confused. Like, this is asking us to authorize the sale of a land. I'm just confused, maybe. I don't know.
Thank you, Commissioner Thatcher. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. But in order for this process to go through, there has to be a resolution drafted. So even though it doesn't specifically state that there's a resolution that needs to be drafted, that's part of the process. County Attorney Enruth can correct me if I'm wrong, but at the end of the day, a resolution has to be passed to complete this, and so that's where his office would come in.
Chairman Morgan, Commissioners, that is all correct.
Oh. All right, thank you, County Attorney Enruth. Is there anything from the commissioners? Commissioner Anderson, you have nothing. Would anybody? Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The only thing that I would add to that is now the county attorney, knowing the past history, can really pick up where it was left off at and try to get this resolution introduced ASAP. So, I mean, that is the process to move forward with that.
Commissioner Callahan.
I guess my question would be to the county attorney, do you have the documentation that's already been drafted?
Yes, Commissioner Callahan, I have multiple sets of drafts that have been saved on our drive downstairs. Nothing appeared to be final. It did appear that there was an original draft, and then it looked like there was some changes in a second draft, but it was never finished. It's still saved in a draft format. So what I will do is put together the draft resolution for the sale based off of what I have, and I can submit it to Judiciary.
Thank you, Mr. County Attorney. I wanted to give the folks who stuck around another opportunity to speak. Thank you for staying. Push the button on the base of the microphone, and then state your name and address for the record, please, and proceed with your comments.
Boyd Burnett, 510 Iris Ridge Road, Ramsey, 59748. And this is new to me, so thank you very much for the opportunity to speak. I really do appreciate it, and I appreciate all you guys do service-wise as a member of the school board. I'm sure it's a small portion to what you guys all dedicate to the community, so thank you. But I'd just like to, the comments about resolutions or agreements being given. The first round of agreements wanted us to sign an agreement with the Ramsey Association, kind of the homeowners association out there. And so the first round that wanted us to sign had stipulations from the Ramsey Association, the community, saying that they wanted control over how the land was used. They wanted authority to tell us what they would approve for the new expansion. And in review with our legal counsel, we can't do that as a public entity. We can't have an association dictating what we go forward with the school. Another stipulation was that if we ever chose to decided to sell the land, that the Ramsey Association would be the first entity able to buy it. And we can't, that's against public everything. So we could not agree to the first agreement. The second round was very similar. It was a little better, but the second round of legal stuff trying to get it, it was a little better, but it was very similar. They still wanted to be able to say whether our expansion met, and they referenced an Exhibit A, which was truly just our conceptual of what we foresee the school going. We haven't even got to that point yet, but it was very detailed of if it's not built to this Appendix A, it goes back to the county. And it's like, we can't agree to any of that. Our legal counsel said, you cannot do that as the school board. So that's why it was not signed and agreed upon by their school, because we can't, and you understand that as a public entity. And secondly, I would just say that our legal counsel then looked through the lease, and all this stems to the Ramsey Association has a lease with the county for that city park. And so this was an agreement to make it so that we could that lease could be nullified, was if there was an agreement between the two. And so that was the whole premise of having agreement between the two. Our legal counsel reviewed the lease, and they don't feel that that lease is actually even in accordance to public law. And I don't fully understand that because I'm not a lawyer, but I would just put it out there that, our hope is that the commission will see that we have our hands tied. We can't come to agreement with a local entity that's trying to have control over what the school does with the land over a silly thing as something as silly as a lease for the park. And so we would hope that we would, with this new resolution, that we would just get past having to come up with some legal binding agreement with the Ramsey Association that would then dictate what we can do in the future with the school. That should be in the public's hands, not just Ramsey homeowners.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Burnett, and thank you for recognizing the work we do, but I would argue that school board work is probably as important, if not more, working with the kids. So thank you for that. Commissioner Callahan.
I would just like to comment to that. The Ramsey Association was well aware that Butte-Silver owns the land. They didn't have the authority to say it has to go back to them. They could have had a contract that would have said Butte-Silver took the land back, and then they could re-up their lease. But that was aware, the association was aware that it wasn't their land to start with, that they didn't get it back.
Yeah.
It was the contract with you would be with the city of Butte that owns the land.
And that's what was frustrating, is all the wording in both iterations that we received and reviewed put approval authority in the hands of the Ramsey Association, which just doesn't make, I'm not a legal person, but it does, I'm an engineer, but that doesn't make sense. The decision should be with the district, with the public.
Yeah, I agree. The land belongs to the public as it is. Follow up, Commissioner Callahan.
And I believe back when I was in conversation with the county attorney, and the meeting I went to, and the two groups got together, immediately after the meeting we had here, they said, what can we do to get this thing to move? We met, there was a couple people on your school board, the lady back there with the glasses on, I know she was there. The principal was there, and they said, we'll sit down and work something out. And obviously, neither side were lawyers.
Yeah.
So there was gonna be things in there that
Yeah.
a lawyer had to look at. But I think where it got derailed was your lawyer says, don't sign it.
And
Because the comment was, what I was told, a 100-year lease isn't even legal. Butte-Silver Bow don't have the right to do a 100-year lease.
Yeah.
But Butte-Silver Bow does leases with for numerous time periods.
Yeah, I think that's sorry, do I address Commissioner Callahan? Thank you.
Yeah.
'Cause
Go
that's
ahead, Mr. Burnett.
I'm sorry, I'm learning the rules. But no, that's 100% true, but he made that comment after the fact, but his initial recommendation is that we can't legally get in a contract that says that the Ramsey Association can make a determination whether we do or don't meet some Exhibit A, which again was a complete conceptual drawing to show why we need the land. And in anything that we do expansion, it's going to cross that property line. It's going to cross that property line. The building itself will cross that property line. And if this legal binding document says that we didn't meet something, how big of a mess is that to turn to the property line back to the county? That's why our lawyer said, you can't sign that.
Thank you. Commissioner Callahan.
Well, I guess the answer to that would be figure out how much of the property you need and give the county the opportunity to give that to you and leave the rest, the park, for the community.
Thank you, Commissioner Callahan. Mr. Burnett.
Oh.
We asked for 2 acres. And whatever is not used by the school, the community is welcome to use. They can use the playground. They use everything right now anyway.
They have the lease on the property. That's why they use it.
Correct.
It's their lease.
Yeah, I could go use it.
They maintain it. And they pay to put the sprinkling system in.
Okay.
So,
That's their right.
But you said the holdup was
point of
2
order, please.
Sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
This is what we're not going to do in this committee, is go back and forth. I want the county attorney to figure out what the historical situation was, because there's a request before us. It's obvious that the two sides did not agree on the past proposals. That's a known. There's no point in rehashing why at this point. I would like to just bring the decorum back to the committee so we're not talking over each other and arguing. Commissioner Thatcher.
Thank you, Madam Chair Shea. So with all of that, then I would then like to make the motion that we've discussed, and that would be to approve communication number 2025-239 and direct the county attorney to draft a resolution.
Okay, there is a motion and a second to approve communication number 2025-239 and direct the county attorney to draft a resolution on the question. Commissioner Callahan, did you have anything? Okay, thank you. Any other commissioners? Commissioner Anderson.
Thank you. I guess one of the things I'd like to see in the resolution, I agree with this, but all too often we have these things where they will sell a parcel of land or something and they use part of it and then they sell the other half. I've seen it numerous times in the last 14 years, and I think that's one of the biggest things that the Ramsey Association is afraid of, losing that park and everything if they said they want 2 acres, but they actually only use 3/4 of an acre, where there'd be a clawback clause in that where the property will go back to Butte-Silver Bow, if that's at all possible. And I direct that as a question to the county attorney, if that's possible to include in the resolution.
Thank you, Commissioner Anderson. County Attorney Enruth.
Yes, it's possible. We put clawback clauses in all of the contracts that we draft for the sale of property. I mean, particularly one recent one was was for the sale of the couple hundred acres to, not the computer company, my God. Yes, Commissioner Callahan, and it has a clawback clause in it. They don't use specific sections of it. There, that is possible, yes.
Thank you, County Attorney Enruth. I think,
Follow-up for that.
oh, follow up, go ahead.
And so we could say that if any time the school board decides that they're gonna sell an acre, 3/4 of an acre, half any, that it would not be for sale, but it would remit back to Butte-Silver Bow.
County Attorney Enruth.
Commissioner Anderson, yes.
Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Thatcher, did you want to amend your motion?
Yes, I would like to amend my motion to approve communication number 2025-239 and direct the county attorney to draft a resolution and hold it in judiciary.
Okay, there is an amended motion and a second on the floor to approve communication number 2025-239, direct the county attorney to draft a resolution and hold this communication in judiciary. On the question. Commissioner Mankins.
I just want to say, I want to thank Principal Kellogg and the school boards, Mr. Burnett and Mr. Gunderson, to coming out and continue to do this. We're all in agreements that this has taken too long, but we will get this figured out. We will get that resolution, and this will proceed forward. So we thank you for being patient at this time. We know that the kids are the most important things, and we are appreciative of you being here and doing this and fighting for them. So we will do our part to get this done. So thank you for your time tonight as well and sticking around.
Thank you, Commissioner Mankins. That's very well said. Okay, motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. That concludes the judiciary agenda. I would entertain a motion